Talk.
Hello, 1 2 mic test.
Say something, bro.
Hello, 1 2 mic testing. 1 2 mic testing.
Knock, 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 bro.
Hello, 1 2 mic testing. Feed. Take this feed.
I see light. I get lights now, so I get ask. Aki, are they damage you as it today? You know, hold for me the lights on this. No, you know. It is Aki. I know the card. Okay. The mic clear. The image? Just adjusting the image.
They're not the on it.
They on right now.
They're not the live.
Nah, no.
Right now, that is still all the way to the
Oh.
Let's pull on normal. Otter.
So, Basa. So you inside that number.
Okay. Clear now. I don't know. I don't get told.
Okay. Sound correct. Sir. So like, how better you do the mic?
No worry no more.
Okay.
So when are ready for me, largest, no sir. Yes sir. Yes sir. Okay. So where they come in just they don't see me link everything.
They don't see the link.
Yeah. They don't see me image. Med. Yes. You up control. Okay. Tell him sir. I don't say so already. Where they get the lead and just tell me no more, yeah?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Paddy man, any call we come in.
This silence, sir.
I don't see.
Call we Kalapi. Instead of you, tell money.
America?
Yes.
Good doctor, is it?
It's all running for the time.
When I had the medical,
When two we don't use to and I think you have to show level in
Please.
This I will get small. Yeah, this I get small delay, although it clean. This how we made the monitor.
Until 2024. He may only have limited coaching experience, but Xavi is revered as
They will provide social counseling for them.
You don't be able to say this. You don't be able to say this. Because you people too, I don't know 2 years ago, you say you could see the concept. Let me show. Yeah, he had video.
I mean, boss and big brother, please.
Great Michael Avali of our time. But my man, you ever carry me 5 local.
No worry. Interview me.
I call madam.
We can start here soon after.
I mean, I think what it turns.
Okay, I know the hot smell. Stand by. Okay, I don't tell me when they are slow. Stand by. I know the door. I know. Almost minutes left and
Video now.
Okay, so me the standby, me the goal now. Are the goal now?
Keeping on the go now, so very long.
Are the goal here for it? Okay. I know. With the anchor at the gate, let us stop into meeting.
This one.
Let me start now. Let me start now. Now the join. Okay, we will start now. Yeah, we will start now.
Alright. Good evening and welcome to the SLBC, the national broadcaster. We don't follow up the events since it happened yesterday up to now from the scene. Right now we dey na one of the biggest referral hospital in the Connaught Hospital na the central part inside Freetown. Now here we get senior government officials where they await His Excellency the President, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio, for making can see victims them na this particular side. With me at the team here, I dey with a senior State House correspondent, aaaaa Mosie, and get for join me live commentary as we keep proceeding this particular commentary for giving an update. But His Excellency the President, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio, in visit na the Connaught Hospital. Good evening, aaaaa Mosie, and welcome to the SLBC again.
Yeah, good evening, William Wise, and good evening to all Sierra Leoneans. Them, as my colleague rightly say, we all know the unfortunate scene we happened yesterday, the disaster we happened at the east end of Freetown. Now the western region, we actually now go well, really very pathetic. Now that make His Excellency the retired Brigadier Julius Madabio, after in conference na Scotland, all man know say attend the climate change conference, it decide for county day because of what happened yesterday, and it don't reach at any time from now. His Excellency retired Brigadier Julius Madabio go visit the fire victims them na the Connaught Hospital na the central district of Freetown. But with me now, I get one of we government authorities them when Mr. retired Brima Boresise na in the head the disaster management office na Sierra Leone a day from yesterday. They didn't at the scene, and up to now, you know, they don't work and didn't Connaught now for actually receive president and update them and take them around the Connaught Hospital with nurses and doctors. They're waiting at the Connaught Hospital for actually see what thing they don't do so far from where they come with the fire victims yesterday. Mr. Sise, good evening and welcome to the National Broadcaster, Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
So what's in the happen now in Connaught as we speak?
Well, they expect His Excellency the President for day or so, any time from now, because as you rightfully say, they've been supposed to get a meeting in Ghana, after a meeting in Scotland. If I pass through Ghana today, get a meeting tomorrow and come. But because of the disaster will happen at the east end of Freetown, they decide for say no, like I'm right back in country, like I see how they go sympathize and empathize with people them for this kind of fire where kills some people and burn some people, bad one.
You there in charge of disaster business in this country, and you don't know this scene. You can actually update citizens that really waiting cause this fire, because we get different rumors, stories about this particular disaster we happened yesterday, sir.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is a particular tanker they try for go inside a filling station now Wellington. Then one other truck we been load ironstone can hit the tanker now inside. The driver of the tanker condom, he reports to him Boston say this don't happen. Then tell and say una come out na that place. The driver self tell people and say una come out na this place. Rather unfortunately, because people and see say fuel been the waste from that tanker, then decide for go cut the fuel away, for go try forget at the fuel. In the process, some ignition happened, then there was fire, and it been really massive. So now that's really happen. People then go take this fuel from this tanker, where we don't get accident. There was a collision. So in that process, fire erupts, and then we see what happen, cause this massive power.
So how many people that really lost their life since yesterday?
Well, as at now, where they talk to now, we get 98 people and we don't die. 92 people in the morgue na Connaught Hospital, and we get 5 na 34 military hospital. Then 1 person in people can't take today for care and go na another hospital, but why then they go with them, they down the way, but they not come back with her again na Connaught. So 98 people actually now they don't lost so far.
So how many admits currently in the Connaught Hospital?
We get about 38 we admit currently in the Connaught Hospital. Then we get 16, we admit na 34 military hospital. We get 18, we admit na emergency hospital. Then we get 6 na Choitra.
So far so good. Did they coordinate with the management of Connaught Hospital in terms of treatment for them fire victims? And how it sound like? That they really
it has been wonderful, to be very honest. Okay. I did tell you something. Just like we self done day on duty from yesterday, we will not sleep. The entire medical staff na Connaught, they done there also from yesterday. Okay. No sleep, and then still they make sure say they provide the best care where they within their reach for them victims, and they, especially the one that we get burns, then life no go.
So they actually respond to treatment. Majority of them were admitted now.
Yeah, some they respond to treatment. We don't lose some when they come here, so, but then they respond to treatment slowly. The medical people, they do a wonderful job. Then they try their best. Okay. So many doctors. In fact, we Vice President came yesterday. The one of the things that we impress him because we did say this 4:30 this morning. We go from Connaught to go 34, go emergency. We've been so impressed with the turnout of the doctors and the nurses, and the extra care and patience we then get. We then compatriots and also we suffer from this serious fire.
So you as a head of disaster management officers, then kind of thing don't happen really, and it's also the first time this such thing they happen in terms of fear leakage or in terms of petrol business where fire leakage. What do you could be advice to people that in that kind of scenario they are, if they see that kind disaster they are, we don't actually give away come on and then sing in day.
Let this be a very good lesson and a great lesson to every Sierra Leonean. Let us not allow this to happen again, because as you say, not to the first one, this will don't happen as alone. For God's sake, if you see thing where flame will get accident, tanker get accident, come on near them, come out, they not go there at all. You not get no way for able to get at that field there, because until we're flammable. Look the way it happened yesterday. It's so terrible. When you see you come to motorman, fire don't deal with them. Honestly, it's not good for look. So the advice is, let we stop that kind of habit here. Something happen, you dey rush for go get benefit from that. Where you think of your own safety, your own protection. So this is just some mistake, human error and create this problem. Where the accident be, whether truck can bang that tanker, nobody no crash safe until this fire happen. But people want to take as much fuel as they can. In fact, I say most of the bike they will get about
how many bikes?
42 bikes them were affected. The bike riders and just can park them bike then at the side, take containers them, they go for fuel. Most of them and the casualties they will get from this fire.
But thank you very much, Mr. Boris. So we'll continue for link with you for updates we are expecting to happen in terms of the disaster that happened yesterday and the fire victims that were at the different hospitals then, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, William Wise will now join the hospital secretary for actually
hospital care manager.
Hospital care manager, sorry. You can introduce yourself to viewers in Australia.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. Mina Dr. Mustafa Sondi Fukaba.
Okay.
I'm the hospital care manager for Connaught Hospital.
Okay, Mr. Mustafa
Doctor.
Dr. Kaba. So tell somebody really what's in the happen in terms of treatment for the fire victims and within Connaught Hospital as we talk.
Well, since yesterday in the evening we received the patients there. We don't destabilize them, we don't give them IV fluids, we don't give them antibiotics, and a lot of doctors then come to Connaught Hospital for sort out the issue. And the patients, we don't put them into different groups and categories in which they belong based on their level of injury where they sustain, and we began to refer some patients to other facilities. And at the moment, the one they waiting now, they receive treatment according to the bonds plan.
So they already respond to treatment?
Yes, we get quite a few where they respond to treatment. Of course, we get a lot of them also who come with severe injury, where the treatment response is slow, but we are hopeful.
Okay, because are they in critical conditions?
Definitely, sure.
So how will they actually continue from maintain, then treatment they want to don't begin for the victims there also?
Well, with the maintenance through support we don't get from the national stores, NEMSA, and we get a lot of philanthropists and organizations and well-meaning Sierra Leoneans that we don't come to the aid of Connaught Hospital. We don't supply a lot of items needed for manage the bonds cases.
So So as a hospital, care manager, more look at other issues them again, in terms of providing food, the for the victims we did it, and make us say immediate emergency treatment that we then go need. That's all day in place in case of anything.
Yes, for now the supplies we get in the hospital can take up to 48 hours, and for really take care of the patients that we'll get. And food also has been given by a lot of Sierra Leoneans. We get people the way they don't cook food, they don't go order for food, they don't carry the food in a Connaught Hospital for the staff as well as the patients. We get 3 or 4 people that we don't do that same kind of thing.
This has been a collective responsibility.
This has been a real good effort by Sierra Leoneans for showcase that they love their country. And when we get a disaster like this, we can all come together and do something in the interest of our country.
Thank you very much, sir.
You are most welcome.
Yes, we don't talk to the hospital care manager, viewers who now they watch the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. When I continue for the which we as the president, they come at any time from now at the Connaught Hospital for visit the fire victims. Them will be involved in the fire disaster yesterday at the east end of Sierra Leone. From Connaught Hospital, the presidency also they go visit the military hospital, Wilberforce Barracks, but actually sympathize as well with the fire victims that we did. I will continue for talk to more people them where they on the ground, William Wise.
Right. Well, plenty thank you to you, aaaaa, for these laudable interviews. Famvul, as aaaaa rightly say, we're at the heart of the capital and at the biggest central referral hospital and the Connaught Hospital. With me, we don't get one representative from the Strategic Communication Unit, Imram Sila. He will join me in the commentary booth as himself does the reach na the side. He don't do it with today, God know how long, and he don't self-deny. Good evening, Imram, and welcome to the SLBC.
Good evening. Plenty thank you for what I done day for practically the whole day up until now.
All right, Imram, from today we don't see the ups and downs, and now you don't come again this night. His Excellency the President, they come. Talk to you so far about this appearance.
Well, I think His Excellency the President already done put out an initial statement about in shock and sadness at the incident yesterday. And I think for that purpose they make it a kaya for can show, for can deal with we Sierra Leoneans them as we go through the difficult times there. But then also for come as the first gentleman of the...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Entourage don't come, and we dey live now this Connaught Hospital and we join our...
Well, yeah, viewers, as one of the is the Sierra President don't reach now the Connaught Hospital. They enter at any time from now for actually visit and sympathize with the fire victims. Were involved in the fire accidents yesterday, Wellington East End of Freetown. And this has been an unfortunate thing that happened yesterday for the people then of this country, as one all man know and people that we don't see today. I mean, people that lost their life, and this we're not actually good, for what happened yesterday at the east end of Freetown for this fire victim, for the fire accident that happened yesterday. When I continue for joining the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, where they bring on a live update according to what's in the yesterday. Now, Sierra Leone. At any time from now, the president will enter inside Connaught as a multi-party enter the condom and talk to people. This is not the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation live from the Connaught Hospital. The president Theodore finally reached the hospital. From Connaught Hospital, we go now the hospital, 34 hospital, for actually see the other victims then when they at the hospital. We admit for this fire incident that happened yesterday. This is not the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. The president on land, he don't condom, he enter at the hospital now. Viewers, as for that is coach. He don't enter now. He come at the hospital.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is His Excellency the Camino enter and the Vice President. Right now, today with the hospital care manager, where the update them. See?
Annex building where we kept the patients that are really critically injured. We had a lot of patients ranging between the age group 17 to 40, young patients, male predominated. There are a few children who are free. Actually, most of them were young men for this incident. So when they came yesterday, we had to sort them out. So this was yesterday, jam-packed. But we received fluids, drugs, which we were able to give them, resuscitate them. And we had some support from doctors all over the country. Came to our aid. Sorry, space.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, from His Excellency the President don't enter inside the ICU unit and it updates, it gets a brief from the hospital care manager. I must say, we deal with me still now.
Yes, the President and the Vice President, Dr. Jude Jallo, don't enter with other government authorities. The Minister for Western Region, Save Day and Nabila Tunis. We get boku people there now. We have government authorities there, IG, AIG. Then Save Day for actually see. We get Deputy Internal Affairs Minister, Lahel Lawrence Numa. They all there now for actually pay a visit. But the President will enter now for talk to the fire victims then, for talk to them, and sympathize with them. This is the Sweden Broadcasting Corporation. We will continue for link with the National Broadcaster for updates from Connaught Hospital and 34 Hospital. As the President, they talk to the victims there now, and the hospital care manager and the hospital secretary, doctors and nurses then at the hospital. We will continue for link with Una. We will continue for link with Una for Guna more updates, but waiting they happen at Connaught Hospital viewers. Well, we'll get Dr. Wisco Manaya. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, madam. Very well, thank you.
Okay, you can tell me much more about what happened yesterday and the victims that went in car with Teresa?
I know, most of the million case plenty thinking they subdue this or that they are not they talk too much, but me na they see me.
Yes.
So I receive victims when I I made her receive 87 for the pavilion, and then no. 15 can be identified. Then, but
the president now.
All right, His Excellency the President don't come on at the first ward and it'll go to the other ward when at the ICU, and we still move with the entourage them right now for can see. Family waiting make una no go see the people them because of the state where they right now, and I make the camera no go enter inside the hospital of inside, but we go show now the entourage and with His Excellency the President where they come up. We're not going to show now the people them right now because they're in the very critical stage, but we will continue for giving. I must say, so talk to me about this intervention of His Excellency.
Yeah, well, this is a very big thing because as we all know, the President as he cannot even reach my house, my lodge, he can immediately for sympathize and see the people then, in terms of what happened yesterday. As they come, he get other government authorities them where they with them wake up, for many actually see what happened. The President they come up on the second floor now for visit the other fire victims then will be involved by the accidents yesterday.
All right, plenty thank you. His Excellency they climb up the step and in entourage, including the Vice President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Minister of Health and other senior government officials, they right now in the hospital. They can say, famble them on a beer, we're not able to show now right outside the president go talk to the victims because of the critical stage where they until we know where people then burn from fire, a very, very, very serious. But this the live commentary from the Connaught Mortuary, Connaught Hospital in Freetown. Will they go down? So this unit where we just come out, so we get plenty people them way then at this side, family them where they struggle for see how they're able to recover from the lives as well. We don't go to the first unit and this now na the second unit where the president don't go visit. We're not going to show now there, as I say, family, I will keep telling now because of the current situation of the people then. But the team, they go out for go wait for His Excellency. We can talk to the media and salon people then concerning this fire incident. We just left the annex building when at the triage ICU. Outside the president inside and the ward now they talk to different people then. But now though we get different people then. We they see the press secretary Yusuf Kokotoma Sandy.
The president never talk short bit now. But we have to just go wait na the entrance and there. Where they go? Yeah?
Right, that's not the press secretary Yusuf Kokotoma Sandy. Just don't give you updates. His Excellency go talk to the media and salon people them concerning this tragic event where happened yesterday. Please continue for watch SLBC. We'll keep showing our interest in seeing them as a public service broadcaster and a salon. We'll continue for show side big dignitaries and the government officials, and we'll wait patiently for His Excellency who can update the public so far. He just come, and as he come, he just visits the Connaught Hospital. From here, it'll go now the 34 military government hospital same so for go talk to the other fire victims them as themselves they did hospitalized. We still there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we still wait on His Excellency as a day na the ICU ward and the annex building for make it go come, you know, for can talk to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, the press secretary they organized the media team for make we able get view from His Excellency, the president for talk to salon people them. The same way so then Africa Young Voices Television Media Empire, plus other hosts of radio and television, newspaper journalists them then including different government dignitaries. Colleague journalists and all then including strategic communication person, Mohamed Ba. We also get Imran Sila and other people them. People them wait and people them they sit down quiet as David go to show now who side them people then sit down that side they patiently wait for me them can get word from His Excellency. So viewers, now the SLBC, we keep on posted as we patiently wait on the president. But meantime, we get lots of health personnel. And then I have from yesterday on to now, nurses, doctors, porters, all day in the central referral hospital and the Connaught for CC, you know, then come together for rescue humanity. This is not patriotism, and this is what we call Sierra Leone. His Excellency the President, they come and can ready for talk to the media. They can ready for talk to the media concerning this tragic, devastated event will be yesterday. Well, this is not the entourage of His Excellency where they come and they get a stop for talk to the press. Good evening, His Excellency.
Yeah, good evening, gentlemen.
Yes, you don't come back to the country. What are you feeling with this kind of disaster happened yesterday? Because so many lives lost and people are still in hospital.
This is a national disaster of a magnitude where just beyond anybody understanding at the moment. We are trying to cope, but the only thing I'm happy about is how our medical staff, the national medical staff, have responded. I'm very pleased with all accounts that I've heard about them in terms of working together, pooling all the resources together, starting from the National Disaster Agency, which is a new agency, how they've been able to coordinate, and the coordination among all the groups that have to participate in such a situation. So It is a national disaster, but our team has responded very well to it. That is the bit that I'm happy about.
It's excellent.
I'm saddened that we can lose so many people in a very short time, and so many are still suffering, but at least we have a group of people who are trying to give them comfort and to help them here.
His Excellency, you just come, and what's the message you want to send to Salon people where they watch you right now concerning this tragic event?
Well, definitely, this is not a disaster where it don't happen, and we want for first help the one day we're critically injured so that they go heal. Then we will go to the lessons we will learn from them there, so that it not go ever be again. We as a nation get for learn from that kind of disaster and see what we will do so that it not go happen again. But I think the one important thing we have want to say, a big thank you to medical staff, to the Vice President from last night. We are hearing about this. It done to keep me posted and everything, to the agency for disaster, how they all with the health ministry, the police, the military have responded very well.
Please, thank you. We talk to it. All right, that's the president just update the general public concerning this. Ladies and gentlemen, we the move right now. We the go now 34 military hospital with the president. Also, we go see another set of people. Them we admit. His Excellency, they go now the 34 military hospital. Definitely the SLBC, your voice, my voice, go continue for updates on but different happenings them where they happen.
Drive, Ura not drive. You drive? Ura not drive. Ura not drive.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get back to the broadcasting house as to the left right now for go now 34 military hospital. 34 military hospital.
Give me this quick.
She had this overnight success and she never stopped. And that's something the media has been commenting a lot today. That Marilia never knew low points in her career. She was always at the top.
She may not have known low points in her career, but she wrote about some low points in people's lives, women's lives in particular.
Yeah, for example, one of her most famous songs, Eu Sei de Cor, is a song where she talks about frustrated love and all of these things. She really struck a chord with how women felt about relationships, and that was the major formula for success. Marilia was a herald of something that's called feminejo, which is a mix of the word feminine with sertanejo, which is the style of music that she sings. Sertanejo is something akin to country music. It speaks of the interior.
Small, placid river, but it became a monster, inundating everything in its path. The flood in Germany's Ahr Valley this summer left more than 130 people dead. I'm Tim Hewell. I'll be asking if the valley can recover.
Climate of Fear, a special series of assignments at bbcworldservice.com/COP26. And in 30 minutes, the cultural front line.
How can the arts help us truly understand what climate change really means? Photographer Sebastião Salgado's musical portrait of a dying Amazon, sculpture art Below the Waves, and author Amitabh Ghosh on climate act to fiction.
Stay with us. The newsroom is next on the BBC World Service, the world's radio station.
BBC World Service, it's 22 hours GMT. This is Oliver Conway with the newsroom. A fuel tanker explosion killed around 100 people in Sierra Leone.
Somebody tried to go under the tanker. A valve broke, an explosion ensued, and sadly there is terrible loss of life.
Hospitals are struggling to cope with the wounded. Freetown. Also on the newsroom, Police in Houston rule nothing out as they investigate the crash of a rap concert that left 8 people dead.
I will tell you, one of the narratives was that some individual was injecting other people with drugs.
The US appeal court blocks the Biden administration's vaccine mandate, saying it's unconstitutional. Finlay. It's an exceptional cross-section of the life and daily work of a part of the Asian population that's little known to the official sources. An exciting find at Pompeii. First our top story.
BBC News, it's Susan Family. A federal court in the United States has issued an order freezing the Biden administration's requirement that people working for companies employing at least 100 people be vaccinated against coronavirus or be tested weekly. The court said it finds grave statutory and constitutional issues with the rule, set to come into force in January. Yanni Islam President Biden national standard of safety at work. Many states, led by Republicans, have filed legal challenges accusing the president of overstepping the administration's legal authority.
Okay, this one. All right. Logo. Will this say for the president? No, it is under post. You don't go on? All right. Viewers. Some break before I go. Okay. My phone. Yes, the driver done it. Yes. Tell yes, when I can join me now. Viewers na the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation from the Connaught Hospital. His Excellency don't come na the 34 military hospital. We the host different people them we self-affected from the fire disaster. But as you can hear in the scene, the weather condition right now very serious. But His Excellency still is drive on and for come inside this particular survey day. Back of me from the sea. This is the survey people them admit presently where they seek medical attention. So we don't come and we still the wait. But meantime, before the candidate Yusuf Kekatomasandi, Yusuf, you see His Excellency don't talk say this time let everybody calm down and this is a national disaster. So talk to me about this message where the president gives us a repeater station I go say.
Well, of course, the president is father of the nation. Remember say this is a tragedy will affect Boku families. And therefore, it be there out. And the moment overnight we get first he don't come, for come sympathize. The vice president will on the ground, don't show a lot of leadership. And we feel say president there for come sympathize.
Right. The president don't enter now the other word again, and Dr. Siva Lee, they will time and they update them for Seka, the other people that were admitted now this particular side. Now the military hospital now 34. Alright, we're not able for sure now, but we still engage Yusuf Kekatomasandi. Yes, you be the talk on the president in message so far now the Connaught Hospital. So people them we sit on us, they watch and they listen the SLBC.
So the message firstly now for tell condolence to the families that we that are affected by this tragic loss. We get many people who don't die, many people who obviously are affected very badly. But also the president also now for tell thank you to the respondents them. For instance, the disaster management agency, the police, the military, everybody, ONS, we obviously once it happen, they mobilize together for more help and support people. But more importantly, the vice president, we don't show enormous leadership. We don't be on the ground from last night, we don't work today. So I think say the president in Kawan, now for just reassure victims them, for telling say this is not something we as a father of the nation, we really touch him and he deeply disturbed by it. But now we could do everything we can for support families and the victims then.
Thank you very much, Dana Yusuf Kekatoma Sandy. Naya, again, a day with the Minister of Health and Sanitation, Dr. Austin Demby. Good evening and welcome to the SLBC.
Thank you very much.
All right, this thing that happened yesterday, and this now you sector where you're in charge, now the hospital them across. We don't go to the Connaught Hospital and now they're not the 34. Talk to me about the capacity force of them hospital for accommodating people there.
Well, this is a big challenge for we all. So what we they try for do now for marshal all of the medical and nursing staff that will get throughout the country that will all come together for fight this. So again, I think the first step now waiting for be the initial reaction. So I think we get a very good first reaction. So now we look for what we need around 3 major buckets. First, about medical needs where we require now. So the second, now the psychosocial support needs, and the third, now the welfare needs. So we try to bring all it together. So a very difficult challenge. Fortunately, we get them beds will be available for COVID. Now we convert them all into this emergency response.
All right, Mr. Minister, so you don't really give the points. Now the people them seem so, they're in this kind of critical condition. We get enough medical supply because when we be going at the central hospital in Connaught, people, the doctors, and the concerning medical supply. We get any at the moment?
We get a lot of medical supplies, but never enough for this kind of catastrophe. So right now we talk to the external partners. In fact, this morning I talked to WHO Geneva. I talked to WHO Brazzaville. They're all on the side, so they'll send some supplies for you. So right now, in the next 24 to 48 hours, they'll send a huge consignment of supplies for you from the biomedical side. But we'll also look for other help from other partners.
All right, plenty thank you. The president don't say so come out now. The other units, they don't come, you don't see them people them way. Colonel Dr. Sivali don't update them so far concerning different things. Them. His Excellency from Connaught. Now you don't come to the 34 military hospital. The Colonel, Dr. Sivali, updates you about this. So talk to me about your feelings so far and how you will come inside to address the kind of challenge there right now.
The feeling is the same. We are devastated for see your compatriots then lay down and they suffer and we don't lose close to 100 instantly. Definitely that is the worst feeling you can have. But like I say, Yanda, we're very impressed with the level of cooperation and coordination among the various agencies we can normally organize this. And as you can see, the medical staff, I keep for say thank you to them because they do the very best they can for save we brothers and we sisters there. It could not have been better.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your intervention so far now. It accomplished by the Vice President, but the weather is very terrible. You can imagine, as we talk so right now, rain they come now, the 34 military hospital. The Vice President, the President, and other ministers of governments, MDs, including the security forces, them all, they accompanying the President. Umar Napoleon, good evening again and welcome to the SLBC.
Thank you, good evening again.
You don't be out and about for the rest of this day, Now the president's same way so don't come now, I don't can see, I know so I need for going at the drawing board for adjust or for sister to go intervene. So talk to me about this level of commitment so far in the area of the president.
Well, that's great. He's the father of the nation. We therefore cut off in tree for come back today. But every what he see and the pictures that we send to him is very more devastating. From this afternoon, we're going to see the Akana Connaught. I see what I see. It don't make only about for the rest of the day. For really see, we only now pray God for the one day when they're still alive. Let God make the way for save their lives then. But it's very, very more devastating. This is a very, very serious issue in this nation. I made the president come, he don't carry straight, and they go there about. And one for appreciating back also of the rest of this month here, not only about for show the world and the nation what's happening in our country right now.
It's plenty thank you to you, Napoleon Nkrumah, Deputy Minister of Justice. We're fumbled now with the end of live coverage of this special edition. We meet you live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Please thank you to you, David Williams, Abubakar Dumbuya, plus everybody puts on the production team. Me will be there. They bring to our updates concerning this. Emmanuel Bassa, Sef there, our Mosiri. Me now William Wise. Till we meet again. Good night.